What's up, YouTube? It's Phanto. I'm back with another video. And I had made a video, man, a couple weeks ago, and I said how in society today, people will tell you that you're wasting your youth, right? Like, you're wasting the prime years of your youth if you're not indulging in pleasure. Like, that's often what people will tell me when I say I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't have sex, I don't watch porn, I don't masturbate, right? People will say, bro, you're wasting your youth, bro. Like, this is your time to enjoy all of these thrills of life, bro. This is your time to indulge in these pleasures. This is a time where you can get away with doing all these things. And I said how the only reason people will say that this is the only time you can get away with doing those things is because by doing those things, if you set yourself up for a future. And I had said how there's either the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. They chose the pain of regret. Regret comes after indulging in a pleasure, bro. Regret is like a debt that you have to pay. So yeah, they set themselves up where they lock themselves into the rat race. They lock themselves into working a 9 to 5, having to, feel as though it's like they got all this pleasure, all this high, and then reality hits you. And you realize, damn, like, oh man, let me tell the young kids, bro, you're wasting your youth, you're wasting your life if you don't indulge in pleasures, because trust me, it's finite, it's gonna go away, and when it goes away, man, boom, it hits. But that's not even the reality. That's the reality if you chase pleasure, for sure. But the reason I say that is because I was thinking about why I don't, and I was gonna make this video, why do I not drink? Because that's what somebody had asked me. They say, why don't you drink? Like, they couldn't understand it. Like, bro, why don't you drink? Because I used to drink, right? And drinking, like, I'm not gonna say drinking is like that I hated drinking. I'm not gonna be that guy and be like, bro, it doesn't even feel good. Like, obviously there's a reason so many people do it, you know what I mean? But I realize the reason I don't drink, smoke, have sex, chase pleasure at all is all the same exact, it comes from the same exact philosophy, bro. Because all these things can be grouped into being pleasures, right? And I thought about it this way. Because I had said this about growth, like true growth only comes from suffering. And I had given an analogy of a tree, how a tree will root deep based on the winds that is in its environment. So if there's a lot of winds that are battering on the tree, it'll grow deep and its barks will grow thick. Therefore, it grows stronger because of the adversity, right? So it's only through portals of pain and suffering that you can become stronger and become the truest version of yourself. Because what also comes with wind, and there's a quote about this, and I don't actually know the full quote, but it goes something like, adversity is like a strong wind that blows away whatever isn't rooted to the tree. So whatever isn't rooted to you, right? That's why so many people, when you for example drink alcohol, you're trying to become for a second a version of yourself that you can't obtain organically, right? And this is a version of you that you can only obtain by taking a shortcut. There's no pain, no suffering in taking a shortcut to get that. So there's gonna be no longevity in you having that, right? But then you choose to also have the pain of seeing that difference, right? Going to that pedestal, like for people who indulge in all these pleasures when they're young and then are hit with a reality, it makes it that much more difficult because now they're basing their happiness on pleasure, bro. And I had said how happiness isn't even pleasure. Now those two things are very different. Pleasure is a single action repeated over and over and over and over again. Isn't that the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. It's like you jack off 1,000 times. Bro, I'm pretty sure by the 1,001st time you realize this isn't gonna help my insecurity. This isn't gonna really bring me happiness. Like, you don't do something 1,000 times and expect a different thing to happen. Like I said, that's insanity, bro. Fulfillment, happiness, purpose, all these things, there's some form of growth pattern, right? There's some form of you getting better. It's like working out. It's like you get stronger, and so the weight feels easier, it feels lighter, so you repetitively get better, right? You progress, you grow. And the thing I thought about was like, I was thinking like in the NBA, or even like you could compare it to a tree, because I know not everybody watches the NBA or watches sports or whatever, but it's like you can have a guy, I'll just compare it to NBA. You can have a guy like, for example, LeBron James, right? And you can say, yo, LeBron's a really good player, bro, right? But he's capped out. He's tapped out. He's like 39 years old, almost 40 years old. Like, he's not going to get much better than he already is. I mean, that's what most people would say. But it's like having an older veteran on a team. It's like, you already know, like, he has positives of being on the team, but you already know what to get out of him. You already know what he's going to give you. He's going to give you, 10, 15 points a night. He's going to, be a good locker room guy, whatever. Then you have a young rookie. you look at that rookie and go, bro, all right, objectively speaking, he's a young guy. He's not as good as a veteran or whatever, but there's some form of potential, right? There's untapped potential that we want to develop in this guy. And the reason I say this is because this is a concept understood by a lot of people, bro. But for some reason, when it comes to pleasure, people will go, bro, why don't you want to just drink? Why don't you want to just, like, it's like having a fully grown tree that's beginning to decay. And it's like, bro, why don't you just want that tree? Why are you watering a little seed? But it's like, bro, look, if you repetitively do that action, where is it gonna get you, right? If you repetitively go to that tree's decaying. If you repetitively go to the seed, that seed is growing, right? So you have to think futuristically. There's some form of longevity with, when it comes to growth, when it comes to doing things that are truly gonna be beneficial to you. You're not only thinking of yourself in the moment, but where you want to be and what you want to become. That's purpose, bro. That's fulfillment. There's longevity in that. That's why people will tell you you're wasting your youth if you don't indulge in pleasure, because they didn't do anything that had longevity, so their future self-suffered. And this is like I try, it's so hard because it's like, bro, it's such a pleasure overload when people drink or smoke or have sex that it's hard to like rewire your brain to understand, like, yo, there is an aspect of truth in these things, and it's written everywhere, bro. In the Bible, I'm sure it's in the Quran. This is spoken in Buddhism. Like, these are truths, bro, that is consistently true, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing that I'm realizing. But it's like, this is something that it's like, bro, it's like they say, you build your house on rock or you build it on sand. It's like, that is the foundation of what you're building it on. Eventually, you're not building it for today, you're building it for whenever the rain comes, whenever the adversity comes, right? You want to be strong enough to withstand that and come out a better person, bro. And so that's in totality why I don't drink or why I don't smoke, why I don't, and it's not even really like a spiritual thing, bro. To me, like, it is for sure, but I explain this to people who aren't even spiritual, and I go, bro, it's just logical, no? Like, there is some form of logic in I feel like in what I'm saying, bro. Like, and I try to tell people, I'm like, bro, there's no, you're not getting anything out of it. It's a debt that you have to pay. Like, that's what's happening. That's what I said in the video when I said why I don't smoke weed. I was like, bro, it's like, for me, I'm trying to, what do they say, fill a void within myself, like jacking off and all this stuff. What am I really doing it for? Like, what is the real reason I'm doing it for? Well, the pleasure is masking something, right? And it's masking me being insecure. It's masking me, do all these things. Then that becomes the solution. And then it's like, when I don't feel this feeling of pleasure, I want to feel it again. So then it becomes a cycle, and then you become addicted. And then it's a whole nother monster. But I tell people all the time, like, in the video I made, I said how it's like paying a debt. Because it's like if you owe somebody money in your neighborhood, and then the second you say you're gonna leave, they want the money back, because it's like they're cool with you being there as long as you're like continuing to borrow money or whatever. But the second you say, yo, I'm out, oh, well, now they need their money back. It's the same way when you try to get out of the cycle. Why it's so difficult in those beginning stages, like the first week or whatever. It's like people always say you have to go through a hump to overcome addiction and habits and all that stuff. And that's why, bro, it's like, well, you're not only, it's like you jacked off for 1,000 days, you watched porn, you smoked nicotine for years. You're not just not smoking nicotine for one day, you're going up against 1,000 days, bro. And so you got to stack together days until the balance becomes more weight on the side of you not doing that thing. So it's like, you have to, and again, that's progress. You're stacking days up, bro, rather than having to take days away and pay back days. It's like there's some form of sustainability, bro. But this is what I was thinking, man. This is why I don't, it's why I don't indulge in pleasure, or do any of these things, man, because I feel like truly there's a price to pay. They always say that, well, you got to pay the piper, the rooster will crow. It's a form of karma, bro. It's a form of, it's like, well, you're chasing pleasure, you're taking the shortcut. The shortcut is what you're gonna be getting in return when it comes to yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's how you chose to treat yourself. You chose those energies. Well, this is what I think of myself. I'm gonna take all these shortcuts. Well, then that's what you're gonna get back in return, man. But anyway, bro, I try to make this video short. It's Phanto. Peace.